Okay, in today's example, I'm going to actually explain how to spawn what are actually known as peds in the game, or the pedestrians, the people that actually walk around. And this actually works directly off of the car spawn routines and the object spawn as well. And I've actually got it combined into one thing, which I'll explain here as I go through it. But basically, the ped spawner is pretty interesting. You can make all kinds of funky looking people and just do many different things with it directly here. And what we're looking at now, actually on the screen here, you see everything in here from the character, star, ped list, with the brackets here. These are actually explaining, and these are actually just showing in visual format, or actually just in an array here. Basically, this is what's known as a character array, by the way. When you see this, it's a character, which means it has to have these little quotes here. You see these quotes here in the end? That means it's going to be stored inside there. As long as anything's stored inside of here, it's going to print all of those things that actually occur inside of those windows. So basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be explaining how this works. So let me jump down here, and I've actually shortcutted myself today without having to go back here. And I'm going to do the same thing as is common for my videos. I'm going to shortcut and jump back and forth with these little routines I set up. And this is the first routine that actually is going to be listed as the function is called ped spawner. And it's actually what this is going to be doing. Of course, this is going to ped one spawn based on what you saw earlier when I went back to that list there. This actually shows all the different types of peds that are actually in the game. These are the actual names that will print on the screen as each ped is appearing. And also, of course, the object itself will insert for which each individual ped looks like in its own visual format. So go back down here again, and I'll kind of go through this. Okay, this you might already be familiar with. The sprint f underscore s is actually a print format that allows strings to be printed to the string. So basically, it works the same way. When you see the SR2, you'll notice the SR2 is down here. That means that the SR2 itself will be printing inside this routine. So whatever's inside of here will print inside of here. So basically, if you look at this again, recognize ped list, character X, and go back up here in my list, and you'll see, of course, ped list in here. This is basically what it's doing is it's taking any one of these. For example, it might have IG Anna, which is the woman, or it might have Anthony, and I know Brucey's in here somewhere. Right there's Brucey, IG Brucey, and these are actual where the peds are going to actually appear for each location. And remember, when you're seeing these step by step here, each of these is an actual individual part of the array. Like this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and they go onward all the way through to the end. And actually, let's go back down there again. You'll see that everything inside of this character is going to print. Now this actually falls into another routine. This is actually what I set up. If you look here, it says integer. It's actually integer, so I have the integer set to be 1. And integers can actually be set, as I mentioned in my other videos, as either global or local. And of course, whenever you don't see them inside the actual function, they are actually listed as global. And global works better because, again, you can use a global for this function, for this function, or whichever void function you may have. So it works pretty effective. And this is basically what this is doing. Now this one's going to probably lose some people here. This one's a little bit more involved. This is actually known as spawn global. And this is a routine I've actually created myself. And you might have seen this in one of my previous videos. So I'm going to go up here and copy this. And actually, you know what, I may have to shortcut that one too because it's going to take a while to find it. It's going to cycle through till it tries to find all the occurrences of spawn global until it gets back to the one I'm looking for, which is almost at the top here. Here we go. So I'm going to copy this whole thing right here, right there, so that we kind of have that stored up here. So now I can move back and forth between the three. That's what is kind of cool about these windows, is you can move back and forth between this one, this one, this one. Watch how fast I can move. I can go from there. I can go from there. And if I go back to the teleport, where is it? I can go back there. You can kind of go all over the place wherever you want to go. It'll jump you all over the screen. It's kind of cool. Something I kind of came up with myself, but it's probably been used by other people. Anyways, let's get back to where is it, to spawn global right here. Take me right back where I want to go. Okay, so this is where it all happens. Spawn global I actually use as spawn global because it's going to be used in a lot of the other different routines. So it's not local only to this function. It can be used throughout all these other different functions I have listed below. And this program is very long. It's about 83, 84 pages in length when you print it out. It takes forever. But anyways, this is the spawn global, and you might have seen these, recognize these in actual GTA videos. Request model is actually saying, let's look for the model that's actually currently in memory, and it's gonna, if I'm saying that right, it's gonna search for the model. And this is while, and when you see the little exclamation mark, that means not. It means while has model not loaded. So while has the model not yet loaded, we're going to wait. So if the model has not yet loaded, we're going to wait 150 clock cycles. And then once the clock cycles are over, it'll go right down here. Otherwise, it's going to keep jumping back and forth between here. That's kind of C++ example. And you've seen these before. This is the ped, and this is the object of the parent again. And this is basically the object of this. So whenever you see this, it's going to refer to wherever this is. And if you want to find this, you can actually go to definition, but I'm not going to do it right now. It's kind of, these videos have to be kind of short. I noticed YouTube, unfortunately, limits them to 10 minutes, and I had made a 20-minute video last night, and it was kind of disastrous. I couldn't get it all up at one time. Spent a lot of time trying to put that together. But anyways, this is this setup routine right here is just going to be used whenever you want to see these. It's if you actually want to establish a ped somewhere that you're going to use inside of one of your own functions that you're going to create. So I always use ped. That will usually find your main character. In this case, though, it's not looking for your main character. It's going to actually look for an additional ped or person in memory. And again, I'm probably not explaining that very well, and I do apologize. I just understand the kind of the basics of everything, but not everything more involved. Okay, the next one down here, these are functions. Function. These are floating point variables. This is a 32-bit floating point variable for x, y, and z. You always just remember x, y, and z are the x coordinate, the y coordinate, the z coordinates. These are determining where that player is going to show up on the screen. If you look here, left, right position, I kind of put it here, forward, backward, and z is the height of the object, and I didn't put the other, but it would be height or how far below the earth he might even fall. So it's up and down basically. And this one here, and actually place is just probably a place I stored it to, but I'm going to copy this and see where I originally got that from. It's been a while since I've actually looked at this one, so it's going to jump through all the place occurrences. And actually, no, this is creating its own separate place. So you can use this. This is